Hi everyone, Dr. Nemechek here. Time for another week in review for the week starting September 1st. First case we had this week was a 3-year-old girl. She had started the protocol when she was 2. She has autism, completely nonverbal, very poor eye contact, and uniquely her autism was triggered within a week or 2 after getting a concussion, head injury. So she started on just a basic fish oil, olive oil, inulin, 1/8 of a teaspoon a day, and right away increased awareness, increased responsiveness, the language. So we kind of had this immediate bump, but not much gain after that. And so we added the glutamine last spring, and boom, dramatic improvement. Burst in language. She's suddenly potty trained. And so now we're a year in. She's got about 60 different words she can use individually, using 2 to 3 word sentences. She started finally socializing with her siblings and her cousins who come over frequently. She's answering simple questions, responds well to mom and dad and siblings, but not to teachers or aides. And so there might be, she's just on the socialization kind of pathway that she's still a little scared of those people that she's unfamiliar with. And we're just going to keep her on her present regimen. I think she's going to do great. Very typical kind of course for a 3-year-old. Importance, again, to be emphasized on this post-COVID gut damage where we need a course of glutamine to fix that. Next is a 7-year-old girl, female. She started about 2 years ago. She was 5. Again, autistic, nonverbal, non-responsive, completely. Can't sit at all. So she's got very hyper and can't sit at mealtime. That makes them anxious and agitated, and they can't focus and so forth. So basic protocol: 1/8 of a teaspoon a day of inulin, fish oil, olive oil. Improves her eye contact, responsiveness, comprehension. So right away you get the awakening, and it happens sometimes. Hyperactivity got a bit worse. Sometimes the insomnia gets a little worse, but then that improved over a short amount of time. 1 year later, just dramatic worsening in talking with the parents. I was suspect it might have been COVID, but we didn't have any details that could really nail that down. But we went from inulin to continuous rifaximin. Some gains, not real great. Then added the twice-a-day glutamine. Boom, twice, dramatic improvement. So that's like in the summer of 2024. The parents then last winter basically stopped rifaximin, and it's hard. I'm not going to go into why. And there weren't any side effects or anything. They were just worried, and starts to deteriorate, becoming aggressive and self-injurious. She was biting her hand, poor responsiveness. I finally get them back on the continuous twice-a-day rifaximin, glutamine, fish oil, and olive oil, and dramatically the aggression is just melting away. Receptivity, she's about 100% on even fairly complicated requests to her. Not really speaking yet, but real strong effort at speaking, lots of mumbling, kind of frustrated because she can't talk yet, which helps a lot with the pruning in the brain. And so our plan is we're going to watch that level of speech, and I'm giving her another 4 months. If we aren't seeing that build and build and build, then we're going to go and add in the inulin twice a day with the rifaximin and the glutamine. So that's kind of our general plan. We'll see. Next, 14-year-old boy, started 7 years ago, okay, on inulin, fish oil, and olive oil. So autistic, minimal speech, aggression, anxiety. Also on Ritalin, sertraline, and was having some improvements, but then this is all prior to me still. Fractures his arm, needs 2 surgeries, marked aggression, now, a fracture as well as surgeries. The scalpel cutting you Each of those events is like a concussion. The inflammatory stress has been shown to cause brain injury in animals, okay? Brain injury that's similar to a concussion. So he had basically 3 concussions here and left him, drops his blood pressure, makes him really aggressive. Now, slowly recovers over 6 months. And still, minimal speech, anxious, dyslexic, dysgraphia. So we started him on monthly rifaximin and VNS, as well as fish oil and olive oil. He starts to improve. Speech is getting better, reading getting better, more cooperative, school's going better. Still with a lot of anxiety and aggression, and then has a horrible, horrible bullying episode at school, and dramatic regression, and doesn't seem to bounce back from that. So I'm thinking he's just relapsing too fast now on that monthly rifaximin, so we bump him up to continuous. It's still on fish oil, olive oil, and the VNS, and then boom, starts to improve again. So now we just saw him. So this after 7 years of this battle. He's off the Ritalin, he's off the sertraline, or it's otherwise known as Zoloft. Academically, he's with his peers. His dyslexia and dysgraphia has completely gone away. No negative behavioral issues outside the house, but still some anger issues at home. And is talking about he feels all this anger inside of him. And I think I'll see this. I think sometimes the kids can rein it in when they're out there in the world, but when they are home, they're in the safe place. Mom and dad have always loved them and will always love them, and they can kind of just let it all hang out. In this case, it's kind of aggression. I didn't know we had a long discussion about this, and the parents and I think, he's able to communicate, talk about his feelings, and he's been through a lot. It's hard to imagine what he's been through. And to get him some counseling, and the mom and dad have agreed to also be in counseling. I don't know, we'll leave it up to counselor whether it's a group or if they're both separate, however they want to do that. There's probably a bunch of dysfunctional family loops in there. There's probably a lot of PTSD. There's probably a lot of resentment and anger. It's a brutal thing for everybody to go through. So I think the counseling is going to have a very good impact in this situation. And last is one of my non-autistic adults, 35-year-old guy, really nice, very pleasant young man. He started the protocol in July, but basically just suffocating anxiety, very lightheaded, chronic diarrhea. All this started when he was a little kid. And it was just, it's just getting worse and getting worse. He couldn't pinpoint to anything. It was just kind of growing. And very uniquely, when he lies flat, like when he wakes up first thing in the morning, no anxiety at all. He's lying there wide awake, no anxiety. After he gets upright, within about 15, 30 minutes, he starts getting anxious. What's that tell you? That tells you his anxiety is being driven to low blood pressure in the brain. He can maintain blood pressure in his head when he's flat because he doesn't have any gravitational challenges. It's when you're upright, then this starts happening. You get low pressure, the body releases norepinephrine, it's your fight or flight hormone, and in him, it's making him very fearful and anxious. And now he had seen all sorts of people around the country, all sorts of, some very very impressive institutions were working. Nobody came up with anything other than diagnosed with general anxiety disorder. Nobody had asked them if he's anxious when he's flat. Not a single person. So he's on a beta blocker to help with the anxiety, benzodiazepines, just like Valium, Xanax, a little when it's super severe. And he's like addicted to nicotine gum. He didn't understand that. Nicotine gum boosts blood pressure to your head and will lower his anxiety. Nicotine will boost blood pressure to your head, okay? That's what that means. Now, so it took a while to get him to start. He was so afraid and so anxious about everything. But he was on the fish oil, olive oil, glutamine for about 2 weeks. And then with just 4 days of continuous rifaximin, he's like, this must be a placebo or something because I'm already not very anxious at all. It can happen that quickly in some people, okay? And so we're going to just keep doing that. See him another 2 months. And if he's continuing to do real well, he won't need any more glutamine. We can stop that. And depending on where he's at, he might be a little anxious. We can shift to intermittent, or we might stay on the continuous rifaximin for another month or two just because it's kind of a security blanket maybe. We'll see how he's doing. And if he's better, but the progress is slow, we're going to keep him on the same regimen, not change anything, and add some VNS to maybe increase recovery. And we might even use some midodrine if he's open to that, to boost his blood pressure for certain situations. So anyhow, a couple very interesting cases, a lot of challenges here, and appreciate everybody for tuning in. And remember, hit the subscribe. The more people who subscribe, the more that our message is being put in front of other people on YouTube. Y'all take care now. Have a great day.